if you have not already looked at those, make sure you do, and then we'll get started in just about 2 minutes. Okay, let me have your attention. I want to be really respectful of your time. I know what a busy season this is with step things going on this weekend, so I just want to make sure we get through all of the information. If you haven't signed in yet, please scan the QR code and make sure you've given us your name, what program you're on, so we can record your attendance and not in my office, all punitive and watch it on some recording. So you get to actually be here today. So first thing I want to say is congratulations for making it to this point. It is not a small feat, right? To go through all of the things that you have to go through to figure out what program you want to go on, put in the application, wait for that, and then be able to accept your place on your program. So welcome. I'm so glad you're here. You are from a range of programs. So this is all of the study abroad programs that are going this coming year. So that could be May, that could be summer, that could be fall. That could be on a short term, that could be on a whole 6-9 week program, right? So there's a whole range of people in this room, and I need to kind of speak to all of you. So please bear with me if there's ever a point when I'm like, so you people in the Daniel house do X. Please don't tune out, keep listening, because I want to make as much of what I want to talk about today as relevant to as many of you as possible, right? So it is all really important information. All right, so one of the main things today is about is setting some expectations, right? We certainly want to answer some questions, make sure you have the information you need to move forward. But we also want you to know what you can expect from us and what we do expect from you, all right? So here's some really important things as we get started. Number one, and you've already done this one, at least for this part, attend all the pre-departure orientations. There are going to be several. This isn't the last one you'll have to do. You're going to have a few more, and I will be talking about what those are. They are required. We need you to be at these because there's always really important information that we need to share. We also need you to be really responsive to email. I know it's hard at Sanford, right? You get hundreds of emails, it feels like, every day, and sorting through them and what's important, what's not important. It's tough. I know it's tough. I often try and use capital letters and say something like action required. So you'll know I need you to actually do something. Versus just, hey, here's the thing. So I will try and help it be clear when it's important. But please check those, because we're going to be sending out things like flight details. You really kind of want to know those. how to register for your course. That would be a timely thing, right? So make sure you're checking your email from us daily. Oh, I just clicked it like it wasn't important. I needed a drum roll right there, right? Because this one is maybe the most important thing I will say to you today. Please, please, please tell your folks all the stuff I tell you so that they don't call me and ask, right? And I am going to be holding another one of these kind of now what orientations next Tuesday for your folks, for whoever you put down as your emergency contact on your application. I've already sent them a notice saying, hey, we're going to be doing this in January. I'm going to send them a reminder. They can join me on Zoom and ask really general questions, but there is stuff I cannot tell them, right? Because you're adults and you have privacy. And so please make sure you're sharing with them those really specific details that I'm not going to be able to talk to them about. I will also say, if you would like me to tell them all those things, you can set up a meeting with either myself or, oh, I should have done this already, introductions, I'll do it in a second, or our advisor, and then we will tell them everything you want them to tell us, as long as you are in the meeting with us. So for those of you who don't know, I should have done this already, I'm Jennifer Lackey. I am the director of Stanford Abroad, and we also have a new advisor with us in our office. This is Lauren Molander, and she brought some cards that she'll have up here on the table at the end to grab in case you need to ask questions. She was an affiliate student while she was here at Stanford. So she's a Stanford student, an alum, but also an alum of our programs, which is really exciting and great for us. So she can certainly be a great, helpful resource for you. And she's also fluent in Spanish. Dr. Von Vogel was like nodding his head like, oh yeah, she's amazing. And that would be part of it. But okay, so expectations, one more. And this is really going to get us into some of the meat of what I wanted to talk about today, which is your application portal. Being able to complete the things on there that you have to complete. Because I know some of you are like, what? I thought I was done with that thing. You are not done with your online application portal, because this is how we will be communicating with you as we move forward. So for anyone who's like not sure what I'm talking about, here's our lovely website. This is abroad.stanford.edu, and you have your applications still here in our system so that we can keep all of the records, keep all the information, but also communicate, because there are going to be more things we need from you as we move through the next couple months. So if you go back to abroad.stanford.edu, you can just click and log in, or you can go exploring all the fun things that you did when you were picking your program. But what I would really suggest, this is the easiest, quickest way, click my application portal right there. So instead of like wandering around in the wilderness, like digital, just do my application portal. When you click that, it will ask you to log in, right? Because this is all behind our login. But then it's going to take you directly to whatever applications you have open, which is so much easier. Because then you will see whatever program you have been accepted to and that you committed to. And hopefully this is, again, really familiar to you, but this is what it looks like. Yeah, if you don't see that little banner that says your applicant homepage, you're not in the right place. Applicant home, your portal, if you will, to get to whatever program you are signed up for. Your status wheel here should be complete. I am not complete. I'm a bad applicant, right? And that's what I want to say. If you are like me and you haven't finished everything in there that you were supposed to, like you just like click commit and then you're like, oh, I'll fix it later. We will be contacting you in the very, very short future, very, very near term, because we've got to get all of this information that's in there now complete. And what do I not have complete? Oh. Right? Like if you did not get your passport way back when we told you to get your passport, right? Like back in September, October, when the application was due, and we said, do it right now. You signed an agreement that said, I will go get it. I will. I want to have my passport. If you couldn't do that, or you didn't do that, and you are still sitting there without a passport in your pocket, that has to happen really soon. The providers are asking me for your details, for your information, right? To be able to book hotels and do all the things that they need to do. They need to know you can travel internationally. So what we ask you to do, if you didn't have it, right? If you didn't have your passport, we ask you to do what I have done, which is to upload this little receipt that says my passport is ordered, and then to fill things in as best you can. But let me tell you, Jenny K is now what it says on my passport, right? My name is Jennifer K. Houghton Lackey, but I just put that in because that's what people call me. That's not going to fly, right? So you need to go back in if you put anything like, I don't remember when I was born because it's all blank before age 2. You need this to be complete based on your passport, right? So if you filled it out because you had to secure your spot, that's fine. It is an editable document, meaning I just logged on, right? So I can now change these answers to what they should be, which is on my passport. It says all 3 of those names before it says Lackey, right? You want to make sure you're doing exactly what it says. So for nationality, if you're a citizen of this country, of the United States, it is not American. It is United States, because that's what it should say in your passport. Of course, you're not a citizen of the United States, or whatever your passport says, that's what you put. But don't guess and say, this is what I think I am. Make sure you get it right. And then click done when you have updated it. If you need to go back in, change that, you can. All right. So get back to my slide, because I just want to remind you of all those things that you've already done and talk about some important dates, important things that should be there in that application portal. You signed a withdrawal and cancellation policy, and you signed an application fee agreement. The application fee is, how many of you remember how much money we need from you right now? $200, right? So again, in the very near term, probably this week, maybe next, we'll be sending that application fee to your student bill. That's all you should see for this spring semester in terms of what you owe us at $200, right? So we'll be putting that on your student bill. And then the rest of it will come later, right? So this is the cost and billing schedule, just to remind you of this, with also all the information within your application. You'll be charged in the term which you study. So if that is next fall, then obviously it's next fall. But if that's the summer, then it'll be on that schedule. And the bill is like late May, early June, I think. But the dates are all published on the Sanford website, so take a look at them. And if you need help finding that information, let me know. You can also set up a payment plan. Your one-stop advisor is really the person you should be talking to about cost and billing. But I did want to remind you that your withdrawal date to not owe us more than the $200 is like now, right? Like by February 1st, but February 1st, there are bigger consequences. Right now, we've already incurred money for some of you, and that's what the policy stated, is if we've already paid money on your behalf and you withdraw at this point, you're going to owe that. So if anything comes up, consult your policy and then come and talk with me. All right, the other thing you did was give us consent to collect medical information about you, and then you filled out a medical information form, or at least you should have. Again, these are things that should be done. Check and make sure they're done, or I will be coming after you. That medical information form is also editable, right? You can change stuff on there, because if things change over the next 2 months, we'd like you to update that form. Because here's why. Why do we want to know this stuff about you? I actually don't, but your program leaders do, right? Because, heaven forbid, something should happen, you're unconscious. They need to know you're allergic to penicillin, right? Somebody's going to need that information, perhaps. So that's why we want it to be as current as possible, so that we have all of that, or they have all of that at their disposal. All kept confidential. Nobody would ever share that. It's all secured. So please update it and share it with us. We've already talked about the passport, but I just wanted it on there again, because it is really important. And then you did sign a waiver, a release agreement, to make sure you understand all of that language. Any questions about any of that so far? Okay, like the things you've already completed. Okay. You also had in there a flight policy, the Sanford Abroad flights policy. So I want to talk about that for just a second, because this is the big one, right? Everybody's asking me, when do we know what we're supposed to do with our flights? Do the faculty have their flights yet? Faculty want to know if they have their flights. So here's where we are on that. I have sent all the information off to our providers. We're signing contracts. Things are approved. Now we can move forward with flights. So I've sent all of the information to our travel agent, and she is arranging flights for the faculty. So very, very soon as we have that confirmed between the faculty and our travel agent, we will share it with you. It will be sent to you. You'll be told the day, the time, and the airport to arrive at. If possible, you can book yourself on the same flight as our faculty, or your faculty. If possible, some faculty will be traveling ahead of you in order to do some things to be prepared for your arrival. So we can't always promise that there's going to be a faculty flight that would be the one you want to be on, but we can definitely promise we will tell you when and where to be to meet up with that faculty member and start the program. All right. But we don't want you to feel, and then we got to know, right? We got to know that you've done it. We got to know that you have a ticket. We got to know that you're confirmed. And so there will be another questionnaire in your application portal. We'll get to that in a second, where you will get to upload your flight confirmation. And we want you to do that. We want you to do that as soon as we send you the information, right? The sooner the better in terms of prices and making sure you're on the flight that you want to be on. But by March 18th, we're going to ask you to show it to us. That's your deadline. Here's what I was going to say. We don't want you to feel stranded. We don't want you to feel overwhelmed. If making international flight arrangements is new to you, we are here to help. So on February 29th, over in Brooks, which is where our office is, we will be holding a workshop at 10 a.m. that morning. So again, that's the Thursday combo hour. We know that might not be convenient for everyone, so we will also have some individual appointments after that if you want to sign up and come and sit down one-on-one with someone. But it would be really nice if you could be at that flights workshop, because in addition to Jill Feast, who's our logistics coordinator and has traveled a lot and is very good at this, our travel agent will actually be there. So on the 29th, if you can come to Brooks, you'll get lots and lots of assistance. So you are booking your own flight. Do you have any questions about any of that? If you would like to work with a travel agent, our travel agent is willing to do that with you. Her name is Shelly Poe, and she works with CV Travel. So that's her email address. That is the only way that she wants you to contact her, because then there's a written record, right? So use that email address. You're not required to book through Shelly, but she would be happy to help you out if you would like to. And obviously she does know what she's arranged for your faculty, if she has. And so that would be good, but you're not required to use her. That is just one option. And we'll give you that again when we send out the date, time, airport arrival information for your program. Any questions before I move on? All right, so again, that actually was some new information, but the flight policy is something that you already signed and it's in there in your application. There's also a student manual, because as you start preparing over the next several months, you're going to be asking questions like, what should I pack? Or what is allowed in carry-on? And all kinds of other questions about maybe, again, billing. Like, what did that lady say at that orientation we went to during step sing when I had no capacity to listen to the things she said? Right? The manual might have some of that in it. So make sure you've looked at that. It is also on your application. But wait, there's more for the low price of your program fee. There are going to be more things popping up on your application portal. There just are. Because here's what's going to happen. You're going to have more orientations after this. Your faculty will be hosting some, we're going to be hosting some. So let me just talk about what orientations are coming up, although that was actually in your acceptance letter too, and then how that will lead to additional requirements. I've already told you one that's coming after this meeting, which will be the flight confirmation questionnaire. You can show us your flight confirmation by when. Yeah, wow, you guys are good. Okay, so all of you, again, there's different groups in this room. All of you will have at least 2 more orientations, but maybe more. The first would be program-specific orientations, right? So when we're not just meeting as a whole group like this, when you actually get to sit down with your specific faculty leaders and talk about all the stuff they want to tell you. So right now, I would like to introduce the faculty in the room. If you're a faculty member going on a trip, would you just kind of wave your hand? Right here, we got Dr. Bodvogel, Dr. Lynn, Dr. McGinnis, and Dr. Carson in the back. So if you recognize that name, hopefully you already recognize your faculty by face. If you recognize their name, if they're able, I think a couple of them want to hang out afterwards just to say hi. But they may not be able to do that today, but I just wanted you to know they're here, also listening to what we're talking about. And they will be contacting you to say, we're holding a meeting on this day, at this time, to talk about our specific program, right? Because each program is going to have its own specific information and needs. And you may want to know what assignments you're going to be getting, or how that's going to work, or what you should wear for this particular program. The stuff our general information can't answer for you. You will have those specific orientations. So again, not giving you that information today because I don't have it, but it will be announced. It will be sent to you. Your faculty leader maybe has already notified you, right? I think some have even happened, right? I think there was one yesterday for Rome. And in fact, you may have more than one. Your faculty member may want to meet with you once or twice, or in the case of Rome, 12 times, and there'll be gelato at every one, right? Like that's just the way that program seems to work. But they will tell you. They will tell you what they need from you to help you. If you're at the Daniel House, can I see a show of hands at Daniel House? Summer, May or summer? Yeah. There's going to be a lot of you because you guys make up a large proportion of our study abroad. So if you're on the Arts and Society London, the International Management, or the British Identity program, there's also, in addition to the faculty who teach here, there's also going to be an orientation for you by the Daniel House staff. So Tom Crosby, who's our director at the house, who you will get to know very well, he lives on site. Tom Crosby may get to come to campus this spring and do this in person. If he doesn't, he will do it virtually, but he always does a Life in London session so that you can know more about the Daniel House and exactly what it's like, and he will lead that. So again, 1, 2, 3, maybe more faculty orientations, program specific orientation. In addition to that, the Stanford Abroad office, will be hosting a health and safety orientation. Again, remember, all of these are required. So whatever your faculty asks of you, whatever your program asks of you, plus the health and safety orientation are required. Now things come up, maybe appointments will keep you from doing this, classes, let us know. We have a way of making this up, but you are still required to make it up. So either on the 27th or the 28th of March, we're going over a bunch of really important health and safety stuff, has to do with your insurance, your travel app that you'll be required to have on your phone, etc. Any questions about the upcoming pre-departure meetings that you'll have over the next couple months? Okay, they will lead then to additional requirements. And so you'll get notifications saying your application is not complete. You'll need to go back in, as I showed you, and work on these. So all of you, no matter what program you're on, you're going to have additional materials, some reading stuff, some quizzes. I think there's even a video, yay, for you to watch about health and safety stuff. And so you'll have to complete all of those or you'll lose your eligibility. So that's for everybody. The annual health students, you're going to have some really specific things. You get to give us some feedback on your roommate if you want. Oh, I thought I had this on there. I'm also going to be deploying. This is really, really important. Oh, I couldn't decide where to put it in the slides, and therefore I forgot to put it anywhere. That's how important it is. You are going to be asked to give us some direct deposit information. Why? Because the Daniel House doesn't have a cafeteria. And so that board funding that you're going to be paying, right, of whatever it was for meals while you're on your program for SOA or management, that money is going to come back to you in the form of a direct deposit into a bank account you choose. So when you give us that bank account information, be very clear on this. We're not asking for it because we're going to take money from you. So this rare, beautiful opportunity where we're going to give you money into that account, right? So you're going to have to give us a canceled check or a letter from the bank that has a routing number on it. There's a form to fill out, right? So it's multi-step. And every time people have trouble with all the steps. So your direct deposit questionnaire, when you get it, Daniel House folks, look at it closely and follow the directions closely, or you're not gonna get your money, right? And you want your money. So make sure you look at that closely. Okay, non-Daniel House students, you may also have some stuff from your provider, right? Daniel House is the provider for those programs. But if you're going on the Arts and Reform program to Prague, or you're going to Spain, you're going to have things for the provider there, whatever that entity is, World Strides or AIFS, they're going to need some stuff from you too. So you'll be getting a link to maybe register, a form to fill out to say, hey, I want to have this kind of homestay for my time in Spain. Make sure you're watching for those from either me or your faculty leaders. So on-site provider forms that might not be in your application for us, but that you'll have to do. Any questions about how that stuff will kind of roll on out? All right, let's talk about class registration. Okay, because I've already been getting lots of phone calls and lots of emails from advisors saying, hey, my student says they're going to Prague in June and they can't register for their class. What are we supposed to do? Because I know you're already used to registering, right? You've already registered for classes, but not for the Stanford Abroad courses. Stanford Abroad courses, course registration happens a little differently, because we have to build the courses a little differently. So you will be getting the information you need to enroll in the course you're taking, but you shouldn't have it yet. You don't have the ability to enroll yet. Even if you have permission, you don't have the information. But you will do it. We aren't registering you for your class. You will register yourself when we email you the CRN, right? So the course registration number will come from our office, and this is why it's so important to be watching your emails. The CRN number will be generated and then will be sent out. If you have any holds though, right? So you have a hold because you haven't paid something or there's some other barrier to your registration, that's not something our office can help with. Even though we're the ones creating the courses and giving you the CRN, we have nothing to do with those kind of holds. So don't ask us to look into it. We just don't know. We'd love to help, but we can't. So you'll need to see your academic advisor if there's anything like that going on. Does that make sense? When will we do this? Probably over the next month or so, you'll get that information to be able to sign yourself up and register. Good. Questions on that? Okay, so let me sum up. Big one, number one, tell your folks all the stuff I just said. That would be really, really helpful. Wait and watch for your arrival information for your flight arrangements, right? Like when should I arrive? Where should I arrive on my flight? We will be sending that to you. I'm trying to do it as fast as I can, folks. I really want you to have it. And then come to all the future pre-departure orientations as instructed by both our office and your faculty. And check your email daily. That's really all I want you to walk away with from this meeting. Those big four things. Are there any questions that I can answer? Don't be afraid, because somebody else may be thinking it too. Yeah.
Selling groups. So we go like we're all get to see that.
It's up to you, right? So if you're interested in flying with other people on your program, as your faculty leaders call these meetings for you to like meet in smaller groups, and be a time to say, hey, would you like, let's arrange our flights together so we can travel together. You can try and do it right now if you already know people on your program. You're absolutely welcome to do that, for sure. But what I can't do is if you email me and say, hey, can I have a list of everyone on my program with their like phone numbers and email addresses, right? Like people ask, and it's fine, but I can't, right? For privacy reasons, again, I cannot give you a list of who all's on your program. Other questions? And if you have a question, right, like I do try and plan this, that we've got time. It's only been half an hour. So if you have a question that you want to ask us individually, we're gonna leave time for that and also time for your faculty who are here, maybe just talk with you if they have time. This is our contact information, so, or at least who's who. We're in Brooks 221, and you can find all of our contact information on our website. Any other questions right now? I'm gonna do this. It's like going back in time. I'll have to talk backwards speed all. Because if you didn't get to sign in, there's the QR code.
What if I don't have my passport?
Oh. I don't. I need a better answer than my fist. Okay, so
Get it.
get your passport. That should be on the summary as well. No, you all do. You people who show up on the first day for pre-departure orientation, you don't have your passport. Of course you do. All right, thank you. Have a good day.
Germany, Prague, So,
Good.
benefits to them.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.